Hi, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show here on Makin Pattaya, the show where we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as well as general news, tips, information and advice. And have I got a guest for you today, guys. Billy, how the devil are you, young man?
I'm pretty cool, pretty cool.
He is cooler than he looks, I'll tell you what. He's an established author, a world-class fisherman champion. You've got bars that are coming out of your arms, your ears. I mean, honestly, you've had it all, haven't you?
I used to have bars coming out my various orifices, but I've got just the one at the moment.
Just at the moment. Well, I'll tell you what, honestly, I've been looking forward to doing this interview with Billy for a long time. Many people watching the channel say, get in front of Billy, go and have a chat with him. So here we are, guys. As you've asked, I'm with the man himself. Now, I think the best thing to do is let's start from the beginning, shall we? Where are you from originally?
Well, I'm a northerner originally, about 10 miles north of Manchester.
Okay.
Naturally enough, much too intelligent to be a Red, so I'm a City Blue.
Could be worse, you could be a Spurs fan.
No, I could never be that bad.
I can't help it, I've got to get digging with the Spurs boys. So you're from Manchester?
Yeah, originally. I grew up there and escaped when I was about 21 after university.
Yeah.
Joined the army, went out to Singapore.
Nice.
So unlucky, really. After training camp, all my mates finished up in Northern Ireland. Getting their heads blown off and getting shot at, and I was dillying and dallying somewhere around the local population in Singapore.
Fantastic.
It was a posting that did everything that it said on the tin.
Brilliant.
Water skiing, you name it, we did a lot. Never did any work, but it was great.
And that was the forces?
Yeah.
Really? Water skiing in the forces? Goodness me. Obviously I joined the wrong regiment then.
Oh, absolutely, without question.
And how long were you in the army?
Not very long. After 4 years, I got a posting to Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And I'd grown pretty attached to both arms, both legs, and the rest of the the pieces that attached to me.
Yeah.
So I bought myself out. Got a job at British Gas.
Okay.
Which was a nationalised industry, and I did 6 years there. Where the only work I did was actually stirring my coffee.
So hang on.
Nobody did any work.
So you've gone from water skiing to stirring your coffee?
Pretty much so,
I want to go back in time and follow you around. I mean, what great jobs you've had?
Well, in the nationalised industries, you get promoted, you get a secretary to stir your coffee for you. I never quite got that high, but...
So you've gone from Manchester to Soy Park, which is where we are right now. I mean, that's a hell of a journey.
I've been around a little bit, yeah. I think when you get a posting, your first posting in Singapore, it gives you a love of travelling, and in particular the Orient.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really wait to get back here again, but when I did sell my business, I moved to Tenerife for 10 years.
Oh, nice.
I've been pretty idle there, sunshine, seasick, sangria, and
stirring coffees and water skiing.
Oh, stirring coffees. I didn't do any water skiing.
Oh,
no. I rather foolishly took up golf, which is probably the most frustrating sport in the world, and I wasted 10 years of my life trying to hit a piece of plastic that defied all the laws of physics. If Newton had played golf, he would never have invented his laws of motion.
Okay.
Because a golf ball does what it wants to do, not what you want it to do. So.
Golf ball does anything it wants to do when I hit it. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely rubbish. So, just to go back a stage, and so you're in the forces. Did you get yourself involved in the fishing world before you came out and moved out of the country, or was that back in the UK?
I think I took up fishing pretty much as soon as I could walk, because my dad was a keen fisherman, and I seemed to be quite good at it, and I entered the senior match circuit when I was 13 years old.
Wow. And
there were times when I was actually earning more money than my dad was earning working down the pit. So it out, because I think that Dad earned about £7 a week at the time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to get things in perspective, the house that he bought when I was born cost £250.
My lord.
So it shows you how old I am.
That's a night out, isn't it? That's a night out now.
Yeah, £250,
Unbelievable.
my God, and it took him years to pay it off.
And I bet you now, what would that house be worth nowadays?
Well, probably 300 now.
I was going to say 300 grand.
Quid.
£300? It's got to be more than that.
It was in Lancashire, don't forget.
You're being hard now. Your father worked his socks off for that.
A little coal mining village where I thought everybody in the world was black. Because there were no white men there. The women were white, but the men were black because everybody worked down the pit, and they used to come up with black faces. And
Yeah. Did you ever go down the pit?
no, good grief,
No.
no.
That was definitely off the radar.
I think I was a bit too claustrophobic. And in fact, I was quite proud when the first job I got wasn't at the pit, because virtually every kid in the village became a miner. It really was so bad, you know.
Yeah.
I escaped, and to escape the northwest, even after university, I had to join the army. There weren't jobs around, even with a degree. They were very second-rate jobs. So I signed up. I went for the interview originally down Woolwich.
Oh, okay.
Woolwich Arsenal. I
You come down my neck of the woods in.
They used to play football though, didn't they?
Oh, that hurt. Hey, come on then. Let's play fair. Remember, I can turn this interview any way you want.
Oh, right. Okay.
Be nice about that. It could have been worse, though. You could have gone to Tottenham.
Well, there's no army camps.
No, there's nothing in there, is there? Sorry to all you Tottenham fans. Really pulling your leg.
I went for the interview there, and I got accepted as to go to Sandhurst with the Gunners.
Okay.
But something didn't seem right. I was a Lancashire lad, very colloquial accent, and a lot of bar gum and necky thump.
Yeah.
And the people who interviewed me, well, your Eames and your Arrows job, you know.
Oh, right, okay.
And they all talk with the plum in the mouth.
The Ruperts.
Yeah.
I call them the Ruperts.
And I realised pretty early on that there's no way I was going to fit in with that society. I was a bit too rough and ready, so I went back to the recruiting office and I said, no, I don't want to be an officer, just stick me anywhere you want.
Yeah.
And I went down to Sutton Coldfield.
Okay, yeah, I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, there's a recruit selection centre.
Did you run around the car park? Do you BFT around the car park?
No, this was just only 3 days.
Oh, okay.
You do a series of tests, and then they tell you where you can and where you cannot go. So I got offered pay corps and intelligence corps, and little did I know that when I joined the pay corps, I wouldn't just be sat there with pencil and paper. They actually give me a gun as well, you know. And you get attached to all sorts of horrible regiments, which go to Northern Ireland and get their heads blown off.
Yeah. Well, I think that guy over there's got a good machine gun going on in there, and he's doing his drilling and killing.
Yeah, well, he's doing up the bar again.
Yeah. So you're in the pay corps now.
Well, I joined the pay corps after a few months in Sutton Coldfield.
Yeah.
Out of our group of about 30 people that passed out, I think 29 of them got Northern Ireland. And I was the unlucky one, I got Singapore.
Oh, I bet you were gutted. I can imagine the look on your face.
Well, it was a Scottish regiment.
See you lads, have fun. I'm going to go to Singapore and do some water skiing. So you know, obviously being in a pay corps, you do know what us foot sloggers call you boys, don't you? You know that we used to call you the Remps.
Yeah,
the rear echelon.
You do realise I had the power to transfer your salary to Abu Dhabi if I wanted to.
Do you know, when I joined, we used to have to go and see the paymaster. We used to have to queue up in the paymaster. They give you a little white slip.
Yeah.
And I think back then I was earning about £485 a month. I think it was something around about that figure. And you used to go and see the paymaster and get your stamp. There you go, son. And they would keep some back.
Oh yes.
And they would make you save it. And I'm like, I don't want to save, I want to spend. No, we're going to make sure you learn to save. And that's what they did. And when I actually left the army, you got a savings book given to you. And I'm like, wow, I've got some money.
Oh, right.
But I didn't do no water skiing.
Well, I think the army made a mistake putting me in the pay corps. Because when they moved me, I left this Scottish regiment at Neesoon Barracks.
Yeah.
You ever see the film The Virgin Soldiers?
I haven't, no.
Yul Bennett. That was based at Neesoon Transit Camp.
Okay.
So I moved from there to Sembwang, and they put me in charge of the major pay office there. So I had foreign currency worth several £1 million in the big safe. And we used to fund the fleet or anyone who came out. Yeah, because we had to buy Singapore dollars, Australian dollars or whatever. Yeah. They put me in charge of that without knowing me. What a bit of a rascal I was.
Please don't tell me you've done what I think you're going to tell me.
Well, much of the MOD money disappeared into my account.
Okay, all right. So you've gone from...
It's too late, they can't get me now. I've spent it on Thai girls.
Well, at least you're honest. So you've gone from relieving the MOD of some surplus funds to into fishing, didn't you? You are an established, well, not an established, that's an insult to you. You're a bit of a legend in the fishing world.
I went back to England and bought a house down the Midlands, strangely enough, cash, which was quite strange for me.
How did you manage that?
On a corporal's salary, you know. But,
corporal buys a house cash.
And a car. And I started fishing again, and it was a completely different type of fishing, so I had to sort of relearn a lot of the old skills. And
you mean your fishing didn't involve opening a safe? Sorry. Right, so you're there dangling your fish, your rod with the fish.
And I made a fairly modest name for myself, got 1 or 2 of the titles. Then one day I got a phone call. I was working at British Gas at the time, as I said, working, stirring coffee once a day. And I got a phone call one day, and they said, I would like you to do a TV advert. And I thought, come on, you take it to Michael.
Yeah.
But anyway, I arranged a meeting with them, and I actually did a TV advert.
Okay.
They paid me a colossal amount of money. Unbelievable. I could not believe it. It was at that point where I thought, somewhere down the line, I could be able to make a living out of fishing, but how the heck can I do it, you know? So I went into partnership with a fella. I left a very, very good job. Went in partnership with this guy and started making fishing floats. But the man was a complete and utter nincompoop. So I left him, set up a factory on my own. And I'm not sure, I think I was possibly the largest supplier of floats in the UK at the time.
Wow.
I used to do over 1 million a year, export them everywhere.
1 million floats?
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible.
And I always had a dream of owning my own fishery, my own lakes.
Yeah.
And one day I got the opportunity, so a farmer dug a lake, big lake, and it was for the fly fishing. And they decided they didn't want it, so I took on the lease. And that was the beginning of what became Making Fisheries. I made it work, a completely new concept. Nobody had ever done this commercial fishing before.
Yeah.
And it became 2 lakes, 3 lakes, and ultimately wound up as 21 lakes.
21 lakes, and to put that into perspective, I mean, how big would be the average lake?
Well, they varied in size, but 3 of them I use as stock pools, 18 for fishing.
Yeah.
And I could sit 500-600 people around at any one time.
Wow. So we're talking like bigger than a football pitch.
Oh, crikey.
Really? Wow. And 21 of them?
Most of those, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
And eventually I sold out to the British government, really, by way of the British Waterways.
Yeah.
And whipped the money over to an anonymous bank in Spain.
You and your money.
And I left a forwarding address of Alice Springs, Northern Territories, Australia, for the taxman, you know. Now, I still visualise some little taxman walking around, knocking on doors, saying, do you know this fella? Cobber, or whoever they speak over there.
So how many titles did you win?
Oh, I don't know.
You see, he says he was modestly okay at fishing, but you're not, are you? Come on, let's put it on the table.
I was okay.
Let's put it on the table. How many championships have you won?
I don't know.
More than you can remember.
Well, it didn't work like that. I was British champion and BBC champion, but that was a long time ago when I was,
but it's still an achievement.
Young.
Don't undersell yourself. It's still an achievement.
Forgotten about.
You mentioned about the army. Okay, I was very lucky, like yourself. I was stationed over in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I was at the top of Port Antonio Hill, and I was doing a rebro stage, so bouncing the signal up and down. And down at the bottom, I could see Port Antonio, which is a marlin fishing village.
Oh right, yeah, of course.
So we used to sit up on the hill doing our rebro, bouncing our Morse code around. And we used to watch these boats come in night after night, sort of early afternoon, mid-evening, and they'd have these massive marlins stuck to the side.
Oh,
but they couldn't get them in the side of the boat because they were too big. So we said, we've got to have a go at that. Anyway, long story short, we did go down and we paid 45 Jamaican dollars for a day out fishing. There were 6 of us. We took a crate of beer and they provided the food. We went out, we were the only boat to come back, we didn't catch a damn thing. Not a thing, not even close to even a fish or anything. And everyone was looking at us and we're like, yes, sorry guys, like we're gonna get, Where did I go wrong, mate? You know, what tips could you give me to get that marlin?
Most of those wind up as Japanese sushi. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
And they've raped and plundered the seas. It's quite rare to catch one now.
Oh, well,
it really is, you know.
I mean, I'm going back now, I'm 55, so that would have been about 35 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, they were just nailing them in, but I couldn't catch a cold meat.
Well, it's just pure luck, you know. You're just trolling your lure along and a fish comes along and grabs it. Either it does or it doesn't.
It didn't with me.
Mine was competition fishing at canals, lakes, rivers, and, you know, the usual fool at one end and a worm at the other. But
you know when you toss your hook in?
Toss, yeah, okay.
Well, sorry, is there a technical term?
Oh, it's...
What do you call it? Land? No, that's landing.
A veritable ballet movement.
A veritable ballet?
Portrait in motion.
You mean you toss it in?
Yes.
Okay, so we got this veritable ballet move that I've put my significant bait into the water. What's the funniest thing you've ever pulled out of the water that you never expected?
Well, I was sat down a place called Denham, down London. Okay. Underground Union. And I was catching quite a few fish in this competition. There were very few people around who were catching anything. And I got quite a crowd behind me. I was catching fish. And there was a lady who was running the match. And she come and sat next to me. And I'm trying to play the big I am, giving it a running commentary. And depending on the type of bites that came along, I just said, no, look, that's a typical gudgeon bite. You can see how it moves along, and that one is a tommy rough. It goes straight under and holds it. And I got this bite. I said, now this, of course, is the usual tommy rough. And I would just catch it and lift it up. And I caught a pair of ladies' knickers.
With a woman watching you?
And I got the woman sat next to me. Quick as the flash, gold. I said, this yours? I couldn't resist it.
And what was her reaction?
She burst out laughing, shook her head.
So you've obviously been, I know you're being humble about it, but everyone that knows about Billy that's in the fishing world would know he's an absolute legend in the fishing world. I mean, you've gone from fishing. When did you first come out to Thailand?
Well, from Tenerife. I spent 10 years there, and it was a question of just how much beer you could drink, how much golf you could play, and perhaps 10 years wasted, I suppose. And being retired isn't all it's cracked up to be. You know, you can become very bored. And it perhaps took a toll on my relationship with my missus. I'd been married 30 years. And one day she said, it's not going too well, I need a bit of space. And I said, is 7,000 miles enough space? And jumped on an aeroplane, and I booked 2 weeks over here with the intention of playing golf. I knew nothing about Pattaya, except what I've been told is a wonderful golf centre. So I spent 2 weeks out here, never actually played golf. I'll let you worry about it afterwards. And I went back after 2 weeks. And on the third day back, the wife walked into the bedroom, and on the bed, I got this kit laid out. She says, what are you doing? I said, see if you can work it out. Golf clubs, fishing tackle, passport, one-way ticket to Bangkok. Have you got it? And she's never seen me since. No, 10 years ago.
Never seen you since?
No, that was 10 years ago.
And do you ever think, like, whatever she made of that when you walked out the door and went, that's it, I'm see you later?
Oh, she said she wanted space. I give her space. For heaven's sakes.
10 years and 7,000 miles, that's definitely space.
Hell of a lot of
that's
space,
definitely space. So when you came over here the first time for your holiday, I mean, what did you make of the place? I mean, you'd never been to Pattaya before. You know, what did you make of it?
Well, I intended playing golf. I'd been told about all these world-class golf courses. And I met up in a little bar called the Little Susie Bar down in Soy Diane.
Okay, yep.
And I'd been told to go there by this chap who got me into it. And a couple of guys who were fishermen. And I'd had 2 or 3 drinks. And this girl came up, started talking to me, and then started simulating whatever girls simulate when they want to get some money off you. And I thought, by heck, this is all right. And
do you think I might swerve the golf?
I thought, by gum, you know. And so I went back the next day, and a couple of lads there said, we're going up to TQ's.
Yeah.
It was TQ's, Tahitian Queen,
yeah,
which you featured the other day.
Yeah.
So I went in there and my jaw dropped. There were all these semi-naked women, tits and teeth everywhere, dancing up and down this silver pole, and I thought, bargum. I like the look of this place, you know.
You could have been down the mine.
I could have been
You
playing
could have been
golf.
down the mine, you could have been playing golf, and instead you're there thinking, my lord, or as you just said, by gum.
I've always been unlucky, I told you. I've always been unlucky.
Yeah.
So after the 2 weeks, so I went back, and I was back out again 3 days later, and I've never been back.
You've never been back?
No, gosh, no reason to. It's not a country I was brought up in.
Yeah.
And I could see the changes 20, 30 years ago. It was going in the wrong direction, England was. And from the number of people who I meet now who come into the bars, they tell me it's a bit of a doggle now in a lot of places. It's not the country. Well, I'm still proud of the country, but there's lots of things I don't like about it.
Yeah.
You know? Starting with the politicians as a general rule, you know.
Yeah, a lot has changed. I mean, I must admit it has changed, but I think nevertheless, and you know, guys that are watching this, I think Billy will agree with me here that no matter what the state it is right now, and we all appreciate that back in the days, or you know, when you guys were here a long time ago, it has changed vastly, but it's still good here.
Still good.
Still good entertainment, good fun.
Here?
Yeah.
No, I was referring to England changing, not here.
Oh, you mean here? Oh, I thought you meant about here. Oh, no, here. No.
No. This will always be the sex capital of the world times a multiple of 10. Every night's a Saturday night, as the song goes. You know, once things start buzzing again, there'll be no change at all. People think there will be no change. All that's happened is that Pattaya has become compressed.
Yeah.
And all the outlying beer bar areas and complexes, they've all gone.
Yeah.
Most of the bars have gone. I mean, there's a couple of, don't you pointing out, the Bodega and those on Second Rock, they used to be buzzing. I don't think they're going to come back. Walking Street, people think it will come back. I think it will of sorts, but not in the form it was before.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of the most famous locations in the world.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But you know, these things can disappear because Boogie Street in Singapore was equally as famous as Walking Street when I was out there.
Okay.
And the Singaporeans decided they did not want this image of the town or the island being a sex playground. So they totally eliminated it, and it's the richest island in the world now anyway.
Yeah, God, yeah.
So they went in a different direction to what Pattaya is going. Pattaya wants to follow Singapore.
Yeah.
They want to go into the upmarket tourist side, but it won't happen.
Yeah.
Pattaya's Pattaya, it's never going to change.
I think Walking Street is going to be the one thing that will change, if anything at all is going to change. But I don't think it's going to change to the dramatic lengths that people are saying. I think what it's going to happen is there's going to be a slight reshuffle. Obviously, the Simon Beer Bar complexes have now been knocked down.
Yes.
It looks like the other one at the beginning is going to be knocked down as well. I was walking past there the other day and covered that on the video. And there's just two little tiny places over the front. So they could quite easily be knocked down, make into open restaurants, and, you know, kind of like tick that box. But like you said, you know, coming over this side, I mean, we're here now in Soi Chai Pun, and we're going to talk about your bars and your books now in part 2. But we're here in Soi Chai Pun, Soi Park Hole, in case you know where we are. And, you know, and this area is just on the boom, isn't it? It's just absolutely going through the roof.
Well, you've taken probably 2 or 3 square miles of Pattaya and compressed it into maybe quarter of a square mile.
Yeah.
So this area, Chai Pun itself, I think is the most up and coming.
Absolutely.
I mean, for ever since you've got everything, you've got a row of massage parlours, then you come to the bars. I won't mention Lolita's, because nobody will believe it anyway.
Oh, they wouldn't believe you anyway, yeah.
No, then you've got nightclubs.
Yeah.
You've got an endless stream of gentlemen's clubs out here.
Yeah.
Which is a bar with glass frontage, air conditioning, slightly more money, and slightly better facilities upstairs.
I mean, this area is absolutely fantastic. And, you know, even if you go down towards Soi Buakhao, and, you know, you go to Soi Buakhao's busy, Soi Boomerang's busy, LK Metro. I was in LK Metro last night, and I put a short video up on my Facebook to show people. It was rammed. It was absolutely rammed. And then you got like Soi Tree Town. Yep, you know.
Oh, it's an amazing place now, and it's all compressed. I think it will be to the detriment of some of the other areas, though. You know, I think Soi 7 and 8, they could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
I rather think this could become the new Soi 6. You've had a night out in Tree Town, LK Metro. and you want to round off the evening with whatever you do in Pattaya, why jump in a taxi, go all the way up to Soy 6? You just walk down here.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So, there you go, the man himself has said it. Come up to Soy Chai, put Soy Pothole. It really is good. I mean, there is a good vibe. I mean, we're gonna wrap this part up and we're gonna come back in part 2. Look at what we're going to talk about in part 2. I need a lifter. Look at these, and these are only, what are they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 11 books. 11 books. You've done that. So we're going to talk about your books. We're going to talk about your life here in the bars, because you've had a few.
Yes, too many.
He's had too many. We're going to talk about now. We're sat in Jenni's bar, which is Billy's bar here. So we're going to talk about that in part 2. Very, very quickly, just one answer. Would you say to people watching this, come out here, it's a good time, or would you say, wait, what would you do?
If you could get rid of this silly test and goal, I would say it is, always has been and always will be, the #1 holiday destination in the world.
Fantastic.
For a single man.
Fantastic.
I don't think it's the sort of place you'd want to bring your wife unless you're going to be working along the beach and going seeing all the attraction. The attraction here is that there's 100,000 young women working the city.
Gotcha.
Every night is party night, and people have been coming here 20 years, never go anywhere else. Once you've been to Pattaya, you don't really want to go anywhere else in the world for a holiday. It's the #1 venue in the world.
There you go, #1 venue in the world, from the man, Billy Makin himself. Billy, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. It's been fantastic. In part 2, we're going to come back in part 2. In part 2, what we're going to talk about Billy's life here as an author. So he's gone from fishing now into authoring, and he's got 11 books, so we're going to talk about those. I think Billy's had, is it 5 or 6 bars you've had now?
I think this is number 6.
This is number 6. So we're going to talk about 6 bars, and I'm going to dig deep and find out about what he's been up to while he's been out here over those years. But we'll come back in part 2 for that. All right, guys, so that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I definitely have. It's been fantastic talking to Billy. If you are in the area, come up Soy Chai and Soy Pothole. Come in, come and say hello to Billy. He's a lovely guy. Come and meet him, and come and have a few beers. And I'm sure there are stories that he can tell you off of this camera that I can't put on this camera, but we'll talk about that another day. All right, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we bring out a new video. Check out our Discord, 11,234 members at the time of making this video, and I'm going to get Billy on there as well so he can share his life stories. So get on Discord, have a look, completely free. And if you'd like to support the channel, there is a link in the description below. Have a look, and your support is much appreciated. All right, guys, that's it from me. That's it from Billy. Thank you very much for watching, and please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.